Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Deters Show. As always, we're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. Well, Israel is calling up 300,000 troops. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to take over the Gaza Strip. Some reports have been coming out. 40 kids massacred, children beheaded. I mean, women being raped and tortured. Folks, these are animals. These are animals. There's going to be a lot of stories like this coming out of heroes. Inbar Lieberman, unbelievable. She killed about 7 of the Hamas terrorists herself, gave guns out to the others who killed others. They killed a couple dozen terrorists. She is going to be a legend in Israel. I said this last night on the Facebook Live. Hamas overplayed their cards. This is so bad. I don't know what their game plan was, but this is so bad. No one can take their side. You can't take the side of those who massacre children. They overplayed their cards. Gigi Hadid, a very well-known model over here who's a Palestinian, this is how bad it is. She had to condemn the actions. Thousands have been killed. Thousands more are going to be killed. Let's hope there's more Hamas killed than Israelis. The White House spoke finally. It only took them 5 days, and they condemned the squad. But by the way, you talk about someone as being isolated. The squad. By the way, the ramifications of this politically, maybe Oman can go down in Minnesota. We'll see. Black Lives Matter groups praised it. Praised it. You know what? Black Lives Matter is our domestic terrorist group. They are. No question about it. Andrea Mitchell was interviewing somebody, couldn't make this up, a survivor. And actually had the nerve to say, well, what about those in Gaza being killed? Unbelievable. A safe room was breached. This couple right here. Now just look at this. This couple and those kids. They were texting saying they were safe in a safe room. It got breached. Hamas slaughtered those 5 people. Look at that family. All killed. I'm telling you, these stories changed everything. There will not be a Palestinian state. This is an interesting story. These parents who hid their twins and they were discovered safe, the mom and dad were killed. They killed 7 Hamas before dying. Good for them. Israel has seized crypto of Hamas and other financial resources. Boy, you always got to cut off the funding, which, just think about it, flies completely in the face of what this administration and the Obama administration did relative to refunding Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas. I mean, it makes no sense. No sense. It's sick. It's sick. Biden helped refund Iran. Where do you think all the money that came to fund this and all these missiles being fired? By the way, I understand the Iron Dome caught about 90% of the missiles being fired from Lebanon and other places. CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Company, circulated a memo, do not call Hamas terrorists. Bad look. The United States is sending Delta Force and SEAL Team 6 in to help try to get the hostage back. Now, folks, I want to tell you something. Last week, the military announced they want to cut these type of forces. I mean, does the Biden administration do anything right? No, they don't. Nothing right. An Israeli cop killed a couple with one hand, firing. Good for him. He's going to be a hero. Biden's administration gave $730 million to United Nations anti-Jewish group. Can't make this stuff up, folks. Meanwhile, Iran and Khomeini praised Hamas. This guy praised the butchering, massacring, and murdering of women and children and innocents. It's pretty unbelievable, isn't it? You ready for this? Josh, you're going to love this one. The binary New York Bar Association person, them or whatever her freaking pronoun is, also backed Hamas. Now let's talk about something a little lighthearted. Aaron Rodgers did not take Kelsey hitting back about that he works for the owner of Johnson & Johnson or one of the heirs of Johnson & Johnson. You can't make this up. Rodgers says he throws down, he and RFK Jr. in a fight between Kelsey and Fauci, a cage fight, tag team. That's hysterical. You go, Aaron Rodgers. Riley Gaines was speaking at Penn, and some people disrupted her table, and they've now been charged. By the way, I like Riley Gaines, and I support her cause, but she's an example. I hate these one-trick ponies over and over and over, and they get all this press. Josh, it brought me, okay, we know the issue. Tuberville has referred former CIA man, head Michael Hayden, to the Capitol Police for charges in his role in January 6th. Interesting. You can't make this up, and I'm going to make, remember, we are not politically correct. This is funny. Congressman Mace wore a scarlet letter A because, she voted against the Kevin McCarthy. And, this is funny, but a buddy of mine sent me a text and he goes, man, I don't see anything due to May's hotness. Nobody sees the A. Get it? Right. Putin, there's a report that Putin is near death and they're squabbling over who's his successor. The Amish, this is funny, Josh Wentz. The cell phone started ringing. The national emergency phones. Oops. Little Johnny Amish boy had a cell phone. I feel so. Hezekiah, that's a good, you're better, not Johnny. Hezekiah. Oh, Hezekiah, I'm sorry, buddy. 17 states in this country have had their income drop. Yeah, you guessed it. Kentucky's one of them. Gallego, the Democrat, is winning. Sinema's now an independent. The U.S. Senate race against Kari Lake Sinema, the Arizona United States Senate race. Kari Lake announced yesterday, and that announcement including the Trump endorsement. Alan Weaselberg, Trump's former accountant, yesterday testified, and there was like 90 times he didn't remember something. That's a guy who's cooperating, but not cooperating, if you know what I mean. Steve Garvey, the former L.A. Dodgers Hall of Famer, first baseman. Steve Garvey, he was a hell of a player, is going to run as a Republican for the United States Senate in California. Can't make this up, Josh Wentz. 25,000 emails from Joe Biden's vice president's office related to Hunter Biden and his business dealings. Folks, all you Kentuckians, this has to do with Rand Paul and Thomas Massie. Rand Paul hasn't said a word about just what went down in Israel. I get Rand Paul's newsletter yesterday. Rand Paul's newsletter does not even mention what happened in Israel. It has now been 6 days, no comment from either of these fellas about what went down. Thomas Massie, the perverted, weirdo, married gay man on the left, that guy hasn't said a freaking word. And you know what? He voted with the Democrats against the Abraham Accords. Both of them voted against Iron Dome funding. I think I'm going to smoke his ass when I run against him, Josh Wentz. Congressman Jeffries is being nominated as Speaker of the House for the Democrats. Of course, he's not going to win, but they're having fun. Speaking of the Speaker race, the Republicans think they will have a Speaker soon, and it's probably going to be Jim Jordan. Santos had a superseding indictment, more charges. You know what he did? He stole credit card information and stole money from donors. This guy deserves jail. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has her day. Have a great one. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Local News. As always, we're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. Michael Askins hit Lowe's stores in the tri-state. Warren County is going to charge him stole $55,000 from Lowe's. Ashley Slayback gave cocaine to a 14-year-old. I thought sugar highs were enough. Cocaine high. Matt Worley, this little pornographic guy, went out and took photographs of women at department stores, getting 120 days. Hamilton County. Three Stooges. These three guys were arrested in Pike County shooting where someone has been killed. Throw them away. Local news. You're not going to hear this news in any place else in the tri-state. October 17th at 7 p.m. at the Covington Cathedral, there is a diocesan pro-life mass. At 6:30, they're saying the rosary. Pete Davidson, October 13th, down at Newport. Show has been moved to November 14th. Why? He's going to host Saturday Night Live October the 14th. There was a bus crash of kids out on Cox Road in Independence yesterday. No injuries. Everybody's okay. Reds announced their Reds Fest this year at the Duke Convention Center, December 1st and 2nd. The Bengals helped put in a ramp for James Angel. You know what, Josh Wentz? I need to get some of that conservative Bengals money for Bulldog Media. Tim Harrison, this vet from Fort Thomas, has been missing since October 6th. The Kentucky State Police are on the case. Western Southern staying here. How it all plays out is yet to be determined, but it's not going to Charlotte. In Kentucky news, Bashir has sent out a mailer right here from a Republican mayor, Troy Young, praising Bashir's accomplishments. That's a pretty good mailer. Rand Paul and Thomas Massey, you can watch local news, Eric Deters show, but I'll go ahead and say this again. These two guys have been silent. Rand Paul's newsletter yesterday, no mention of what's going on in Israel. Both have been silent, haven't said one damn word. Both voted against the Iron Dome funding, and Thomas Massey voted even against the Abraham Accords with 18 Democrats. I'm running against Thomas Massey. Got another good issue there, Josh Wentz. This is funny. The Louisville Ethics Board is filing a complaint against the city of Louisville for violating ethics. Louisville is allegedly, Louisvillians, hate to tell you this, Louisvillians, there was a study that said, you're the rudest people in the state of Kentucky. It's a Democratic city. What can I say? I thought Louisville was supposed to have Southern charm, genteel. Instead, they're frothy, prattling cut purses. That's a Shakespearean quote. Seymour Taffler, this poor guy, 96 years old, is charged with allegedly smothering his demented, ready-to-die, suffering wife with a pillow. Now, his daughter is one of the witnesses of this. And I'm going to just say this. I'm just hoping this is legitimate and not a lie as they maneuver for who gets what. I'm just saying. And you know what? I'm sure this happens more than we know about. 86,000 former felons are going to be able to vote in Kentucky. They're registered. By the way, I support this. If you've served your time, you're off probation, parole, everything else, why shouldn't you get your voting rights back? Bashir says he will serve a full term. Of course, all these politicians say this. Daniel Cameron said he was going to serve 2 terms as Attorney General. Nope, he didn't. So Andy Bashir has at least said this. Why? Because the speculation in the United States Senate. You watch. You say that, he'll appoint him to the United States Senate. Ohio, Cincinnati Children's Orthopedics Division has won a national recognition award. I give all the credit to this, 1,000% of the credit to this, to Dr. Charles Melman. Sheriff McGuffey's gun that was stolen a couple years ago has now turned up at the scene of a robbery. The sheriff's gone. P.G. Sittenfeld was sentenced yesterday to 16 months in prison. But just so you know, this is low security. Hell, you can walk away down in Ashland, Kentucky. This is the common sentence that you get, 16 to 18 months. It's not hard time. You even get conjugal visits. You got access to phones, computers. It still sucks. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it, but it isn't the end of the world. He'll come out the other side. He'll be out of politics, and he'll do something else. He stood in front of Judge Cole, who sentenced him in the Southern District of Ohio, and said he was grown from this. Sorry, he got overly ambitious, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Maybe P.G. Sittenfeld is the next saint. You know what? He's paying. Hey, he committed a crime. He's paying the price. I think the sentence was low compared to what the other crimes that you get sentenced for. This was a breach of public trust. Very, very, very bad. In addition to that, there wasn't any word of whether or not he's going to, while he appeals, get out. Doesn't sound like that's going to happen. It looks like he's going to have to report and serve his time pending the appeal. Over 200 letters were sent to the judge praising P.G. Sittenfeld. So we'll see what happens. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.
Hello, you're watching Eric Deters World News, the latest headlines. Damage to an underwater gas pipeline and telecommunication cable connecting Finland and Estonia may have been a deliberate act. It is likely that the damage to both the gas pipeline and the communication cable is the result of external activity. The cause of the damage is not yet clear. Both countries are cooperating with the investigation. Hurricane Lydia on Tuesday swept through Mexico's Pacific coast with winds gusting at 140 miles per hour. The hurricane made landfall as an extremely dangerous Category 4 storm that is feared to bring heavy rainfall and lead to flooding and mudslides. Another earthquake has hit western Afghanistan just 2 days after the last quake in the same region, what killed more than 2,000 people. This one, more than 100 were injured and sent to hospital. United Kingdom, all flights at Luton Airport have been suspended until later this evening after a huge fire ripped through a terminal car park. About 1,500 vehicles may have been in the car park and have been damaged. 4 firefighters and an airport staff member were taken to hospital. Until tomorrow, thank you for watching. Cheerio.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Sports Without Boundaries, the best sports show in the tri-state. Check out the others. Check out mine. Make your own decision. All right, Major League Baseball. The Astros beat the Twins 9-1 to go up 2-1. The Rangers sweep the Orioles. The Orioles are the number 1 seed, swept by the Rangers, a wild card team, 7-1. And the Rangers, if you don't remember, started out hot. They've got 3 or 4 batters who are batting .400. So the Rangers await the winner between the Astros and the Twins. By the way, there is only one team that doesn't come from a woke city, Josh Wentz. I'm rooting for the Rangers and Corey Seager. The Braves and the Phillies and the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks play today. The Blackhawks beat the Penguins in opening night 4-2. This was wild and great. You had the puck drop between Crosby and the number 1 draft choice in last year's draft. He's still a teenager, Connor Bannock. And guess what? He got an assist. Connor got an assist. And his team won 4-2. They got down 2-0 and they won 4-2. Lightning beat the Predators 5-3. The Golden Knights, last year's Stanley Cup champions, beat the Seattle Kraken 3-1. Sad story in hockey. Barry Melrose, who is the numero uno ESPN commentator about hockey, love this guy, good guy. Announced he's got Parkinson. He's only 67 years old. And prayers to Barry. Steve Garvey, the Hall of Fame Dodger first baseman. Guess what? He's going to run for the United States Senate. Go, Steve, go. He was like Mr. Perfect. Then we found out he had like a long-standing affair. It was kind of fun. I don't know if y'all remember that. Western Southern's going to stay in Cincinnati. It's not going to go to Charlotte. Exactly how all this plays out is yet to be decided, but it's staying in Cincinnati. This is great, man. This Dallas Cowboys-San Francisco rivalry, it's gotten off the rails. Debo told Micah Parsons, watch what you asked for in a rematch. It might even be worse. Woo! Dean Kramer, the Baltimore Orioles pitcher's parents, are stuck in Israel. All I got to say is this. It's better to be stuck in Israel than dead in Israel. Hope they get out. Mary Lou Retton, sad story. The gold medalist who won over all the hearts of America, ended up on the Wheaties boxes, is apparently fighting for her life, unable to breathe on her own with some weird pneumonia. I think she's only 55 years old. All the best to you, Mary Lou. May you recover. The Bengals helped James Angel put in a ramp. He's a vet. This is a program that the Bengals participating in. Good for the Bengals. Reds announced Reds Fest is going to be December 1st and 2nd of this year at the Duke Energy Center. I haven't been there since I was on 700 WLW radio. I think I'm going to go this year. High school football, week number 9. Just want to premiere 4 games. I'm sorry if your game's left out. We'll report your score on Monday. St. X plays Cleveland, St. Ignatius on Saturday, and Moeller plays St. Edwards on Saturday. That's some big-time Ohio football. Boone County plays Cooper, the Boone County cross-county rival, on Friday, and Campbell County plays my Simon Kenton Pioneers also on Friday. Aaron Rodgers is funnier than hell. He says that him and RFK Jr. should do a tag team fight with Trace Kelce and Fauci. I love Rodgers. All right, Peyton Manning's making fun of Mark Davis's haircut. All I got to say is this, folks. Mark Davis inherited from his dad, Al Davis, the Oakland Raiders. They're now in Las Vegas. Can you imagine having a pro sports team in Las Vegas? Why does he have a haircut that makes him look like a British medieval monk? That's messed up. Peyton Manning making fun of him. Manning is funnier than hell. All right, Deion Sanders weighed in on Dak Prescott's horrible day. He said he felt sorry for him. Deion will always be a cowboy. And then you have Quinn, the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. So we got our ass kicked. We're coming back. Folks, we can only hope, can we not? There's a rematch in the playoffs. Alex Bregman, he put the Star of David on his hat. You watch. Major League Baseball will come down on him. Although, guess what, folks? Paul Brown Stadium is lit up Israeli blue. And there are some Palestinian supporters upset about it. Too damn bad. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. I hope today is yours. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to the funnest show you're going to ever see. Eric Deters on Pop Culture, where we make fun of pop culture. Waylon Jennings said once that he never saw so many ugly women that he's seen. He called it an ugly women congregation at Conway Twitty concert. Isn't that mean? That's mean. You couldn't say that now, Waylon. Pat Sajak apologized. Now, why would you have to apologize that the word ghost appeared and the guest said he would like to be a nude ghost? Well, why saying you're a nude ghost, on Wheel of Fortune is all that bad, Josh Wentz? All right, this is a great story. Jason Momoa apparently did not want Amber Heard on Aquaman 2. Apparently he would show up drunk, dressed like Johnny Depp. Amber Heard must be a first-class wench. All right, Mary Lou Retton is fighting for her life. 55 years old, former gold medalist for the United States. Apparently has some weird, wacky pneumonia that she's battling, can't breathe on her own. Hope she comes back. Remember, we're pop culture. The largest pumpkin has been grown, folks, in the world. 2,749. Can you imagine how much water and food source they give to make a pumpkin? I can only tell you about that. That's one ugly-ass pumpkin. All right, Playboy fired Mia Khalifa. She's apparently was a commentator. I'm sure she posed as well. I'm sure if you Google her name, you'll get some nude photos. You know why? She took up for Palestine. Hamas. Brooke Burke who used to be on the Dancing with the Stars. I think she was even a co-host. I mean, she participated. She says that she wanted to have an affair with Derek Hall. Now, why would you say that now? One reason. We know why. She hopes Derek calls her now. She is married, though. She is beautiful. Gigi Hadid, she's a Palestinian supermodel. She's even come out and condemned Hamas. Folks, if you live in Louisville, you've just been voted, I don't know what organization it was, the rudest people in Kentucky. Wouldn't you know it? Our Democratic city. I thought Louisville was supposed to be genteel, Southern charm. Gwen Stefani says she's struggling on the blind auditions on The Voice without Blake there to help her as a wingman. Poor Gwen. Will somebody choose Gwen? Jason Isabel, great musician, is going to show up and play with the Turnpike Troubadours, whose lead singer apparently has got his act back together, and they're going to go out touring. By the way, great music. Like a Cat Out in the Rain, check that song out. And Chipping Mill, telling you right now, great music. Folks, this woman is a specialist in being ready for anything. Says every family ought to have a code word. And she says her family has come in handy, and I agree with that. Jamie Spinley, what's going to be your family's code word? Cornwallis?
Chess.
Chess. What about you, Josh Wentz?
Screw it.
Screw it. I got to figure, I'm going to poll my family and see what our code word ought to be. All right, Saturday Night Live, Today in History. On October 11th, 1975, Saturday Night Live premiered, and George Carlin hosted with Andy Kaufman. Wow. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has her day. Have a great day.